All right, where are we? We are in the weekend round of the Northshore tournament. So let's clean the desktop off here and get everything rolling. Do some club card trading. See what my options are today. Here we go. The way it's been working is I get two cards occasionally I get like one card that I'm looking for, but normally I'll either get two cards I'm looking for or two cards I'm not. And I am not putting points into either one of those. I know. For all you Inbringer fans out there, I'm perfectly happy with my rapier. And the deal is I've got other clubs, like when I've counted out all my points. So I know like where I'm at and I have the opportunity to get several clubs up if it works out right. We'll see. Hole number one. All right, where are my notes? I do have some notes. I did not go back and watch my opening round to tighten my notes up, so I'm still working off my qualifying round notes. I think on this hole, the deal is I haven't hit it perfect yet. Let me think here. APOC, I'm going to bring in Apocalypse and a 2-power low wind ball, but I think I need to bring, there's one of these holes that I've been bringing this turkey ball on, but it would have been nice to have a little bit more side spin. And I know one of the par threes that's the case. I think one of the par fours as well. But on this hole, I don't think it matters. So I'm going to bring a turkey ball. Let's make sure I got the right bag there. APOC, Hornet. That's all I need. That's all I need. Let's get some chests rolling. Replenish some of those common cards. Something weird happened last week, or earlier this week. It actually, even though I had commons to still trade, it chose the extra mile. Let's get our practice token. Get the heck out of there. We're all caught up. Let's roll. Here we go. First shot of the day. Anything special here? Trying to get to like 325, 330, somewhere in that neighborhood. Half a backspin. Now that half a backspin might not be absolutely right because I switched clubs. And the half backspin was written down for the extra mile, but that only worked if there was tailwind. If there was any kind of headwind at all, I had to pull back a little from the red line or use a little bit of overpower, and it's one of the reasons why I switched to an Apocalypse. And that's that. Really, it boils down to, on a lot of the just normal drives, the question of, do you want more ball guide or you want more accuracy? Pull back just a bit. And put on about a half a backspin. See where that goes. It's 1.5 per ring. I'm going to just do a 2-ring pull. That'd be about a 10%. Oh, that was like 70 rings straight to the right. That was every single bit of 2 rings straight to the right. In the sand. I'm sure I can easily get up and down from there, but I do have a lot of confidence in my sand wedge, so I feel like if I hit this perfect, I have a serious chance for it going in the hole. But I would have had a much better chance of it going in the hole if I would have gotten forward. First shot of the day, and look at it. 2 rings, 3 rings, 75 rings, great to the right. And my opponent had just as far to the left. But they might be all right. Very nice. All right, let's see where I'm at in my club. I am at max. Can I bounce over from there? I can. So now we're in recovery mode. We can still have a shot at going for it. 1.8. I'm at max club. It's actually a little over 2 per ring. I'm doing a plus 20%, so I'm going to do a full ring. See if I can hit it perfect. Hitting it perfect. See if I got my wind adjustment right. And see if it's got enough legs to roll up there. If I'd had my speed right, that might have went in the hole. Close. And even at a ring, I normally count my Spitfire at 2 per ring, but it's actually not. I think it's not 100% accurate. I normally counted at 2, so that would have been like a 10% adjustment, and I've been doing a 20. And I've always had a lot of success at 2, so just a little teeny bit more, and that would have been flagpole. It was still going way too fast. It would have hit the flagpole and bounced off, but it was close. I found several of the holes in this course that when you try and run the topspin out, you get that appear and disappearing ball. I'm not a fan of that at all. Getting it perfect. In the hole. All right, I recovered. Still give myself a pretty good look at it. And the way that it's been going so far in this tournament, I have no idea what the people at the top have, but you're going to have to pick up 4 per side. And so the 3 par 4s are all makeable. One of them is super makeable. So you have to capitalize on those par 4s, and you just need one other shot somewhere to get you into the hunt. At least to get you at a 30, which is probably not going to win it. But it'll at least, you know, if you get one other, especially if you can pick up just one more and get to 31, then you're starting to be in some serious real estate. That's a lot though when you got to pick up 5 per hole. Hole number 2. I think hole number 2 is a par 5, right? It is. And this is another hole I'm working on. So I was using my rock, and I switched to a 4 power ball. And with the 4 power ball, I was able to get up here into this range with my Guardian to do a rough bump. And I don't really like having to burn a 4 power ball to get up into that area. And if I have a really big headwind here, I don't think it doesn't really affect the drive. But on the second shot, I think I still have enough room to work wind out, and I can always bounce over. So the deal there is that second shot, I haven't taken the I've only taken the second shot once where I hit the rough bump, and so I'm not exactly sure what the wind adjustment should be. Not exactly sure. See, if I'd have went back and watched the video, I would know what I did on the front, and I'd be able to, I'm going to take this bag right here with the rock. I'd know what I did in the opening round, so it would really help me right here. I'm going to take an open ball. I don't really need the side spin, but I have a lot of those, so I'm going to use them. They were my most needs 4 power ball. I should have bought some of those 444s. Those 444s that came out if you're a ball buying person, those 444s are the 4-power ball. That would be a great utility ball. Like if you didn't have any other 4-power balls with those, then that's just your go-to 4-power ball. Stefan, thank you for joining the channel and matching up with us. Jeez. I go first. And I was doing 3.5 topspin, and I was at the +3 mark. I was way back there, doing 3.5 topspin. Three. I'm going to do about 3.6. I'm going to do just a little bit more. I'd rather be a little short down on the end than a little long. I hit it a good solid 1 ring right to the left, if not 2. .328. I left a lot of room down there on the tip, but I'm not sure how much that gains you. You gain a little bit towards the cup, but not a lot. It's 1.1 per ring with my Guardian, and it will be at max club. And I don't have quite enough to get there, even with a 4-power ball. It's 1.1, so there's, man, I can get way down on it. There's 4.4. I'm gonna go a little shy of that and do like maybe a 4.2. I'll split the difference. We'll see how close that gets on a perfect. A little short. That was on track. And this is a hole. I need to put a note on here. Run long for the back 9. Because I've been short on that hole pretty much every time this week. I've been running the ball guide right up to it. And in that situation right there, I couldn't actually see the ball guide all the way to the cup. I've taken that shot several times from the other side with a sniper. And the deal there is if I can't get up to that spot consistently in order to do the rough bump, there's no sense in wasting a 4-power ball when I can hit out there and do the bounce over with a sniper and have better ball guide. Opponent's using the backboard. That should be an easy putt for most people. Could be a difficult putt for me. Right. I'm at least doing something productive and sitting here playing golf.
That was productive.
You was.
Yes. Lester, get away from that table. I was productively giving my body needed.
You were giving your body some needed rest?
Yes.
I gotcha.
Mwah.
Mwah.
You need to clean up now.
Okay.
You got any of the dog and the dogs?
Yeah. It's a draw. All right, hole number 2 is in the bag. Did not pick up anything yet. We need to, I've always tried to break these holes up. We have a par 4, par 5, par 3, par 3, par 4, par 5, however they do it. But we're in those three hole sets. And trying to come out of each set, like maximizing or finding the set that you really want to be focused on, but coming out of every set having picked something up. And this par 3 right here, we definitely have an opportunity to pick something up. We're going to have to make it happen right here because it hasn't happened so far. Now it seems like I've hit this in here perfect and it didn't go in. It was off just a bit. I'm going to take a grizzly and I need, this is the hole right here that I needed to take a 3 side spin ball. So if you're going to take a 1 power ball, it needed to be one with 3 side spin because the turkey ball just wasn't cutting it. Weren't getting it done. You can hear Buster. What are you whining about, bro? Are you trying to get on video? Is that the deal? You and your sister? Hole number 3. Here we roll. Here we go. Let's get her done. I'll give them a treat. Then they'll want more. Okay, that's it. I'm done. I got no more. I got no more. Go outside and play. Finding an opponent. Here we go. I need to get some elevator music. I need to pull up some elevator music on my phone. Sean saved you. All right. What am I doing here? Plus 20% is what I've been doing. But I'm not sure that that's right. I don't think I've made a hole-in-one on this hole this week, but I've had some difficulties because I haven't been bringing the right ball. I played it with a turkey ball. I played it with a Nirvana, or excuse me, a Navigator, and it wasn't quite working. But I haven't been in the spot my opponent's been in. We've had weird wind where I've had to pull more to the right in order to get into a better spot of the rough. Yeah, and I was just gonna comment and say I had exactly that happen, where I was, and that's another reason why I've been off to the right just a little bit. 1.4 equals mid club, so divided by 1.1 is 1.52 rings. I've been trying to be over here where it's a little bit fatter, so that I can stay a little bit away from the fairway in front of me. I can be a little bit farther back. 1.52 rings. There's 152. I caught that too. Did you see that? It was perfect. Oh, that was not perfect. That was some 7 billion rings off to the left or right. That was a good solid 1, if not 2 rings great to the right. That would have been my best look at it all week. The wind hasn't been blowing right, and it's been hard to get in that spot with the wrong ball. You can't get farther forward like my opponent was, and my opponent was 1 ring off. They were 1 ring into the rough, and what I found was when I was 1 ring into the rough, I hit and I did exactly the same crap that my opponent did. It ran and rolled off the backside of the rough, or green into the rough. But if you're 1.5, 2 rings into the rough, you don't get that effect. It actually does the rough bump, so you need to be a little bit farther back into it. And it's easier to get farther back into it on the right-hand side where the rough's a little bit deeper. That patch is a little bit bigger, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Some of the stuff like that, when I go back and listen to the video, then I'm like, okay, hey, sometimes I'm flossing over it, and then I cover something, and I'm really kind of covering it for myself. Hole number 4. Did not pick up anything special in the first 3. We're playing pretty flat. What is hole number 4? Let's see what my notes say. Okay, this is all right here. This is all about ball. So I'm going to take... a Titan. And if a Titan doesn't get it done, as far as if we're getting headwind, I will pull out a 4-power ball. But we'll have to see what the deal is on it. And I'm either playing... Now, if we have headwind, I may switch to this with the Titan and see what the deal is. But I'm going to start off with an extra mile, because with a 3-power ball, we're almost getting too far up in the hole. So we'll see which way it's going. This hole right here, you'll have to play it based off the wind, and you need to have a kind of a game plan. And that's not that my game plan will work out, but I have a game plan on it, because this is definitely the low-hanging fruit in this tournament. You can see with a Titan and an extra mile, see how far they're getting up here into this zone. They're really half a ring. I mean, this area that's here is smaller than a ring, but if you're back a little bit farther in it, you have quite a bit of room between the sand on the left and the right. And you still have some fairway in front of you. I almost wish we had a 2.5-power ball. I'm gonna bring a 4-power ball, and I'm gonna put on about that much topspin. And I'm gonna do 4 miles an hour, which is 2 rings. I'm gonna push it back to the red line. And then I'm just going to hit it normal. And hit 1 ring great to the right. And that's what I'm talking about, is if you can get back a little bit farther, if you catch a 1 ring great to the left or the right, you're actually hitting the rough before the sand. And you can bounce over the sand. But if you're up in the front zone, the only thing that you can hit is a perfect. Anything other than a perfect, you're going to end up in the sand. And I obviously switched to the 4-power ball, so I didn't have to do any overpower. Nice shot. Nice shot, man. I don't like it. I don't like that one little bit. Hitting it perfect. And hit the flagpole, so that means, and it hit the flagpole on the left-hand side of the flagpole, and I had set it up just clear of the right-hand side. So I was hedging my bets there. So if the wind was not a factor, I could make a great to the left and a perfect, and it would go in. But if wind was a factor, it would push it over to the other side of the flagpole, and I could hit a great to the right and a perfect. So I was giving myself 2 sides of the shot. In the hole. All right, that is a hole we absolutely have to pick up. I mean, there's just, I mean, like that is the hole you have to pick up. You got to pick up 4 per side just to stay up with the people at the top, just to put yourself in a position, and then hope to pick up 1 or 2 more. And that one right there is one you have to pick up. So we need to get on a run right here and just pick up like all the rest of them. It's possible. Hole number 5. Hole number 5. All right, I'm actually I'm trying to get over into this area right here, somewhere on this fairway pad, so that I can do the rough bump going up to the cup. From here, you have barely a window with a 3 power ball where you could get here. If you've got any headwind, it's really hard to do the rough bump. And it really kind of depends on the clubs you have and how far, obviously, you get down into that hole. I'm doing an extra mile. I'm doing my number 1 bag with a power 4 ball. Max OP. Plus 10% to the cup. And I'm not absolutely sure on that, because on one of these holes I hit and I think it was this one, if I hadn't done any pull, I think if I go back and watch the opening round, we'll have to see which way the wind's blowing. If I can get an opponent. Hopefully everybody's having some fun. I remember when the game first came out, tournaments weren't every other week. Like we had some, and then it was to be like 2 weeks, and then there was one where I think right at the end when they finally went to the one tournament, like big tournament, every other week, they had a week. We went like it seemed like at one point we went like a 3-week time frame where we didn't have. Okay, so that max OP, if I hit it out there in that area, I'm going to start off on this side. 3-7. If I did a 10%, that would be 2 rings. I'm going to put curl on it to bring it back. Hit it 1 ring great to the right. We're trying to get that second bounce to bounce in this fairway and not get caught up in that rough. And I just slightly overshot it. I don't think I can recover from there. Maybe. Now we're back on like hole number 1. We're in total recovery mode. So whatever it takes to just get up on the green or get on the green side, so that we have a short chip or a putt or so we don't have to hit from distance. I think I got that from there. I know if you're out in the fairway there, you're in your long iron. So I can probably use the island to bounce over in a worst case scenario. Here we go. I can do a rough bump. And that rough bump from that spot is actually not too bad. I'm at max club, it's 2 per ring. And I can get right down on them. So that'd be about 3-6, and that's right along the red line. Just need to hit it perfect. Hitting it perfect. Let's see if I got my wind adjustment right. And I didn't take the 10% off on that one. I shortened it up just a bit. If I would have did just the full 2-ring pull, I think I'd have been right on track. I like it when you get into a spot where you don't make the shot, but you still have a shot at it. It doesn't always work out that way. The key thing is that when it doesn't work out that way, you have to bite the bullet. And I have to tell myself this as a player too. I mean, this isn't like because I've made this mistake myself numerous times, where you're in a bad spot and then you just go for it. And it's like, man, and then that doesn't work out. And then you're thinking to yourself, if I would have just laid it up out in the middle, or got on, I could have just chipped it in. I wasn't going to get the Ivy or I wasn't going to get the Eagle, but I would have secured my minimum score and moved on to the next hole, tried to pick one up on the next hole. Now I've put myself in a hole that you can never recover from. Well, I shouldn't say you can never recover from it, but you just made your trip a lot harder. Eagle. It's a draw. All right. No love on hole number 5. Hole number 6. What is hole number 6? Let's go look at it. Hole number 6 is a par 3. All right, this one right here is, of the par 3s, this one right here seems the scariest to me. So if I've got a headwind or a tailwind, I'm doing a plus 30%. And if I'm doing a side wind, I'm doing plus 20, but I'm not sure. I haven't really gotten any side winds yet. I'm doing 1.3 per ring with a sniper and a navigator. And once again, I don't think on this hole I think this is a hole that I can take a turkey ball on, because I don't think I need any side spin at all. I just need low wind. And I need a sniper. That's it. That's all I need. Let's go get a hole-in-one right here. Let's turn this. Let's get this hole in the bag and get a hole-in-one right here. Let's see which way the wind's blowing. Shane goes first. Getting a little bit of tailwind. About a 45 tail side. Now from this spot up here with a Guardian, I've hit from this spot a bunch of times. Did they put all the backspin on that? Because I was hitting from down in this area right here. And I was using backspin and right-hand side spin and trying to pull it up the hill to follow it down. And it's one of those shots that it looks somewhat impressive, but it's like never going to go in. And when it does, you'll never be able to replicate it because there's just so many variables. 1.9. Let's put that in. 1.9 equals divided by 1.3. 1.9 rings. Whew. I don't have 1.9 rings. I'm gonna have to switch to a power 0 ball. 3.5 rings. Hitting it perfect. Let's see if I got my wind adjustment right. Nicely done in the rough. Close. And slightly over pulled. Let's make that 25%. On a head and a tailwind. That might be the same for the side. I think on a headwind it'd probably be just a little bit more, just because of the sand and the water. See if my opponent can get in from there. Now, one of the benefits with a Nirvana is if you've got, especially if you've got an upper developed Nirvana, is you can run your topspin out and you can treat that shot just like a rapier, and you can pull it towards you so the first bounce is closer, so the club is just super accurate. That close. No cigar. In the hole. All right. Only picked up one, picked up the one that we were supposed to pick up. And I'm on the last 3-hole set, so I've got to pick up all of these holes. There's just no two ways around it. You can't leave, I mean, you're going to have to pick stuff up on the back, but you can't pick up 14 holes on the back. All right, this is definitely this is definitely an opportunity right here. Let me think. I'm taking a extra mile, a katana, and a hornet. I'm pretty sure on this one that one side spin, I'm not sure. Let me think. I'll take a turkey ball again. I'm not sure if one side spin is enough. I think it's enough on the second shot, but on the first shot, I think I'll have to put a little bit of curl on it in order to get it back out into the fairway. And the last 2 times I've taken this shot on this hole, I've actually flubbed the drive. And it's a pretty easy drive. We'll see which way the wind's blowing. I might switch to my number 2 bag. If we've got any kind of tailwind, I can switch to my, I'm used to playing this hole with my rock from the island. I was trying to get a little bit farther forward. We'll see if I can get an opponent. Okay. I got my phone up. See, I picked up my phone. I threatened to pick up some elevator music, and I got an opponent. It's about 1 ring. Isn't that perfect? We'll see if I roll off the tip, if I put too much topspin on it. I'd like to be farther to the left. Really, to get that, I'd have to, and that's the other thing about my rock, is it's got more curl. This probably would be another hole that would be good for an Apocalypse because it's got more curl. You just have to work the shot out for the top spin. All right, let's see where we're at. Okay, I'm at minimum club. So minimum club with my Hornets 2.0 per ring. I'll put on about 1 backspin, maybe 1.5. 2.2. There's 2 and a little. Oh, great to the right. Perfect would have been right in the cup. This is another low piece of hanging fruit on here, and I'm hesitating on the wind adjustment because I came here earlier on in the week and I hit the club wrong. I was using my Grizzly mid number at 1.1 instead of my Hornet mid number at 1.4, and I did a 10% wind adjustment and ended up I hit it perfect and it went right in the cup. So like reverse doing the math, if I was at the 1.4 per ring, I would have had to make a 44% wind adjustment. And I tried that and I finally caught a perfect, but it was off. So right there I did maybe a 10% adjustment at the 1.4. I'm still unsure of that. It seems like in the past coming to this hole that we did very little adjustment. Other than our normal wind adjustment, we added on or took off very little. That was close. Those were both close. But my opponent missing theirs didn't hurt quite as bad. Into hole. That was my best opportunity right there to get something going. You got to pick up 4 per side just to keep up. I only got 2 holes left and I've only picked up 1, so that's not good. Not good. I'll have to get a hole in 1 on this next par 5. That's the deal. If I had a hack, I could probably get it done. Hole number 8, evidently. All right. I'm trying 1.25 times whatever the wind is divided by 0.9 per ring. Taking a Grizzly and a Katana. And here I'm just going to take a Katana. And I switched to that 1 Powerball. I could have switched to a Pinata. That would have gave me, no, that's still a 2. Seems like I have a 1 power. Yeah, like this is the 1 Powerball. 0 power. That's the deal. I don't have any 0 power low wind balls for that last hole. All right, here we go. I'm going to pick up my phone. I'm going to pull up YouTube. I'm going to type in elevator music. Elevator music. I got it pulled up now. So, any more of this delay. We're going to start playing some music. Lord of Sav. Let's check out our opponent. They got some stuff going on. They got some sporting some color. Sporting some jewelry. They're using a Katana, 4-2 wind. See if they can get it in the cup. Isn't it perfect? Little on the outside, little outside. They didn't pull enough and little short. And or the same problem. 4.1, 4.1 equals. We are at 0.9 divided by 0.9 per ring. 5.69 rings, 5.7 rings. going to start off on that side of the cup. 5.7 rings. Okay, so there's 1, there's 5, 7. Oh, great to the right, great to the right, great to the right. That was a little short against that headwind too. And that's the headwind laying it down. Each successive bounce, especially when you're bouncing over from the one fairway area to the green, bouncing over that sand and it getting laid down. And I hit that great to the right and I ended up on the left-hand side. What's funny on this hole is I've hit more when I'm just like setting it up, going right at the hole, doing the adjustment. I've hit more greats to the left and made hole-in-ones on this hole than any other spot. If you watch the walkthrough, I was watching some videos. I think I put in around, we played these holes, and in that particular tournament, I just bowed to the inevitable and was hitting it great to the left, trying to get a hole-in-one. All right, this hole right here, we got a serious shot here. Epoch, plus 12. 3/4 backspin. I switched up, this is another hole, I switched up how I'm playing it. I've always played this hole with a rock or a QB, but I've switched it up and I'm playing it with an Apocalypse and a Kingmaker. And I want to make sure that my secondary club is a Sniper, so all I need is Apocalypse, Sniper, Kingmaker. If I need anything other than that, I'm in big freaking trouble. You'd really have to screw up to mess up the second shot. At least you'd get over to the green side. So if you're having to pull out any other club other than the Sniper, then that means you failed on the drive, and that is no freaking bueno. Because you're going to have to recover to the other side, and you're still going to have at least a short iron, if not long iron shot to get to the cup. This wind works good for me. Doing half a back, or 3/4 of a backspin. At the plus 12 mark. One of the reasons why I switched to the Apocalypse is so that I can pull it back from the red line in the normal shot setup. And then if we have a headwind, I have plenty of room in front of me to work the wind out. So I don't have to do any overpower. These particular types of shots, I just absolutely do not like doing overpower. I just don't get the whole thing hitting over there. I see lots of people make it. I see lots of people epic fail. But I see lots of people make it, and the whole deal is, I just don't know what you guys are working for. Okay, 3/4 of a backspin. There's one. About 3/4. 3.1. It's 1.5 per ring. 75% accurate. And I'm going to lean a little bit to the right. Hitting it perfect. It's all about distance right here. As long as I don't roll off the tip, if I'm in that flat area right there, I'm fine. But you can see that there's I'm on that little hill, but in front of it, if you catch that front part with any speed, it'll roll off real quick. You're in big trouble. Then your goal is to get over to this fairway right here. Somewhere, wherever you can get. Now in this situation with a big dog, they had a guardian that was upper developed. You got the same kind of distance. They didn't need a lot of topspin. Get better ball guide, a horizon. Not sure if horizon would have had enough unless you have it way up upper developed. Okay, 2.5 equals 2.25 rings. .25 rings. And there's 2.25. That puts me just a little teeny bit into power, and I'm not going to worry about that because it rolls out here. Oh, and I hit it great to the left. And it'll go right by on the left. You got a good shot at Albie on that hole. I made Albie on that hole in the opening round, and this hole's been in a lot of tournaments. And I've hit Albies on this hole in several different ways, but that sniper shot, you have a really good opportunity to make Albie there if you can hit it perfect. Dang it. And I took 10% off on the wind. You got to watch your ball guide there because the ball guide, it's following the slope at the very end. So you need to go down there and look at it. And it'll look like it's going toward the cup, but in a lot of cases it's actually going to the left, like where you can follow its trajectory. And it does hit a little bit where if you're in front of the hole, it'll roll out. So if you run yourself all the way to the cup, it'll go by the cup too fast. All right, that was the front 9. I only picked up 1. That's not going to get it done. That's not going to get it done at all. So if you just pick up 1, so getting into this bracket, there was only 5 25s that made it. And there was probably 15 25s. It went all the way to, the 24s for minimum score went all the way to 75. And there was only maybe 8 or 9, let's say 10 24s. There wasn't very many actually. So if you're at 65, there was a good 15 plus that didn't make it that shot a 25. So everybody in the brackets from the other groups in that same boat. So if you're only picking up 1 and shooting a 26, you're probably looking at definitely sub 50. If you pick up 1 per side. So that's not going to get, a 25 is not going to get it done. 26 isn't going to get it done. If you want to get into the top 50, it's probably going to have to be 27 or better, and going up from there. So I got a lot of work ahead of me on the back 9. I can get it done. There's great opportunities on all these holes, especially if you can hit perfect. I think I only hit a couple perfect shots in that entire round, so that doesn't help. Thanks for watching.